want to know how can we follow what our heart says, even though this may bring sadness to our beloved ones. It might not be what they perceive is good for us or for them as our significant others.
Mhm.
As
I
our significant others, yeah.
Mhm. Our experience is our teacher, and sometimes we have to take a risk in order to give ourselves a new experience that offers us a new teaching.
Mm.
Right? So if you're aligning with your heart, you have to be brave enough to do it, right? And then you're going to see how the world responds. And maybe temporarily you have some resistance because you're used to behaving in one way and people expect a different way. You change who you are, people are confused, people don't know how to respond. Sometimes people feel disconnected from you now because you're different. But if you keep living by your heart and being that new person, and it's rooted in happiness and love and peace and these good virtuous qualities, everyone else is going to benefit. In the beginning, they might reject you, they might feel confused. But if you're living with virtue guiding you, then you're going to find that everybody else benefits and you actually become closer together. In the beginning, we're often afraid to trust ourselves, and that fear is the problem. We think, oh, if I let my family know that I meditate, then they're going to reject me. They're going to not like me. I say, no, you don't know that. You don't know how they're going to respond to something they haven't yet experienced. Maybe you're the catalyst for their awakening. And maybe they're going to be so grateful to you down the road. It's like I mentioned a story earlier about a man that I exercise with in the gym. I didn't know much about him. We only say hi a few times. And at one point, he shared the stress he was having. And I shared what I use for myself to give myself peace of mind and greater happiness. Right? I wasn't afraid to do that. He could take that advice, he could leave that advice, he could totally not be interested in talking to me afterwards and think that I'm strange. I don't know. But what I did know is that this comes from my heart. This is true for me. And out of my heart, I want to help another human being. A few days later, I saw him again and he was so grateful and so thankful. And that opened up all this other conversation that we never had before. So sometimes our fear thinks we know what the future is going to be like, and that prevents us from following our inner knowing right now. You don't know how your family is going to respond to you aligning with your truth. Now, something else to add, what I'm talking about is aligning with your vibration and the knowledge that comes out of that vibration. Okay, that's different than trying to force people to understand your concepts, right? You live by your concepts, they live by your concepts. And if you're living a radiant, happy life, people are going to notice and people are going to benefit from it. And then people might say, how do you do this? I noticed you're really happy. Like, what do you do to create your happiness? And that opens the door because then they're ready to learn. But if you try to push on to people your concepts and your ideas, often then you get rejected because you're not in the energy of love, you're in the energy of control. You're not honoring their free will. You're trying to impose your will upon them. And nobody likes it. It feels unnatural. It feels out of alignment. So that's why you get this retaliation or this rejection oftentimes. You just live your life and you live the best life and you own that life. Say, yeah, this is my understanding. And right now, I'm trusting it and I'm aligned with it. And the understanding will likely change as I keep living. I'll get wiser and happier. My mind will grow. Everything will open up. So I'm not fixed with this idea is the truth. This idea is just my truth right now. So you're completely aligned with your understanding. You're owning it. And as you do this, you'll find a lot of energy comes into you that changes your life. It brings it all into alignment. When you're aligned with your truth, you don't have to fix anybody else or change anybody else. And you're really too happy to try to control other people because you're really having the experiences you want while you're interacting in this empowered, aligned way. Automatically, that energy is going to start influencing people around you, and you're going to notice people changing. So, in my own experience, as I became more aligned, living how I wanted to live, I noticed my family members started doing things that I never really experienced them doing before or expected them to do. Like
Mm.
they started becoming more aware of spirituality or eating healthier foods. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, I'm doing these same things. I'm not telling them how to live. They watch me and they ask questions. Like, oh, why are you eating that? Or, what are you doing for your job? They start asking me things that I'm doing because they notice I'm doing it. They notice I'm happy doing it. Right. And then if they feel attracted to it, they might explore those on their own. Maybe they don't. It doesn't matter. Some of my family members don't meditate, and I have great relationships with them because I don't impose my will upon them. I don't think meditation is going to fix your problems. You guys have to meditate. And if you don't meditate, I don't have time for you. I would never think that. I would never say that. Right?
Mm.
For me, it's about following your heart. And maybe your style of meditation is going to the river and fishing, or going on the golf course and hitting some balls, or just having a nice time sitting in the backyard looking at the sky. Right? I don't know how you're going to find your inner peace, but you will. You have to just keep aligning with yourself, trusting yourself, and you're going to get what you want. So it's up for me just to live my best experience and not be concerned about how other people are living theirs.
Yeah.
I might teach people, I might not. It doesn't matter. That's not my purpose. My purpose is just to be happy. And as I'm happy, it becomes contagious, right? And it just starts to spread. And that's the good kind of thing we want in this world, right? Not an illness of fear, but rather a contagion of love.
But that's what I always say in Spanish also. They say, be the change that you want to see.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful quote.
Yeah.
Definitely. I
Yeah.
love that one.